Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the Common Sense Crypto channel. As with you always, this is Rich doing another video today on Flare. But before I get started, please click the like and subscribe button as it helps this channel grow very quickly. So we're going to take a look at Flare Network. And we see here, Flare Network launches correctly over the next 8 weeks. It could upend the entire DeFi and dApp spaces. Not financial advice, but don't sleep on what Hugo and the entire Flare team is up to. And we know Flare connects everything. Flare is going to be massive. It's almost, unexplainable on how big Flare is going to get. It's going to take over the entire crypto space, in my opinion. Then we see this. With the power of State Connector, Flare makes data from the real world and traditional corporations easily and trustlessly available to decentralized applications built on the network. So it's going to actually connect Web 2 to Web 3, as we see here. But it's also going to take all those old corporations that are out there and tie them onto the new network in the real world. And that's what people don't see. They only see how it works in the crypto space, but it's going to work in the real world also. The Flare network is an absolute amazing system. I'm looking forward to using it and being my own bank, not to include the compounding rewards. I know where my spare XRP is going. And that's the thing you got to understand. Flare is going to give us so many opportunities for passive income. And it's almost incomprehensible, really, how big this is going to get and how fast it's going to grow. We already see people already creating stuff to put onto Flare, like NFTs and things like that. But there's going to be so many cryptocurrencies tied to the Flare network, and I believe Ethereum is going to become a thing of the past. People don't like to hear that, but I believe that's what's going to happen. At Genesis, the Flare Foundation will operate all network validators. By the end of observation mode, Flare Foundation will have less than 33% validation power, below the threshold for the foundation to control the network in any way, making the network properly decentralized. Now, you heard people say it before, most likely on Twitter. If you ever went on there and looked up and talked about Flare, people say, well, it's centralized, it's not for me. But we see right here, it's going to be decentralized. And that takes out the FUD of all those people. So when the Flare network goes live, Doge will have cross-chain interoperability through the state connector on the EVM and smart contract utility as an F asset. Yes, the meme joking will actually be able to do something. Hint, 10x. And that's what I've been telling you. I've made Doge videos talking about this because Doge would no longer be a meme coin. It'll actually have use case. And I believe a 10x is very well possible with Doge, thanks to Flare. So Flare Network announces that it's including Dogecoin as an F asset. This way, the decentralized network intends to bring full smart contract utility to the Dogecoin ecosystem. And you can't miss out on Doge. I mean, just if you're holding Doge, just continue to hold it until this sell takes place and you will make money on Doge. The only hope Bitcoin has of staying relevant is migrating to the Flare network as an F asset and trading trustlessly on the XRP ledger. Real-time payments, unlike that garbage Lightning. And that's what's going to happen. It's going to move to Flare, and I'm going to show you that later in this video. But think about how much liquidity Flare is going to bring to XRP. This is how you get over $100 XRP. It's just through Flare. I'm not talking about the cross-border payments, regulatory clarity, any of that. Flare has the potential to bring XRP's price up that far. XRP was the first and will be the only of the primary mintable F assets in the Flare network ecosystem, which will allow XRP holders to earn on their XRP as FXRP as well as interact with the other dApps being built on top of the Flare network, like Flare Finance. Lots of potential here. This is how you get that passive income. When you first invested in XRP maybe 3 years ago, a lot of talk was, well, at some point you'll be able to get passive income, and people didn't understand it at that time. A lot of people said, yeah, okay, I'm just waiting for the next bull run so I could cash out. But Flare changed that. And we knew Flare was coming, but people didn't know what Flare was. People couldn't see how you gain passive income on cryptocurrency. They couldn't see how you could put your crypto to work for you instead of you going to work. But now it's starting to come together. A lot of the FUD on Twitter is gone. I say that about a lot of cryptocurrencies. I'm actually surprised. If you go over to Twitter and you talk about ISO 222 tokens, you don't really see all of the comments like you used to. I think people are actually starting to figure out what's going on, what they should be holding instead of today's meme coin or get rich quick crypto. They're starting to realize that utility, once it kicks in, how much money they can make. And I think as we get closer and closer, people are really going to figure it out. So crowdfunding on Flare is another low-risk opportunity within the Flare ecosystem that brings external value and demand into the network to reward good participants and bootstrap liquidity to some dApps launching on Flare. You see what I mean? It's a fully rounded network. It's going to be big. Very, very big. Then we see this. Flare Networks and Algorand confirms that Flare Network initiates its partnership with Algorand to handle digital threats. Now, if you are not invested in Algorand, you are going to miss out. Algorand is going to be big. If you like XRP and you like XLM, you gotta take a look at Algorand. The things Algorand is tied to is gonna be massive. Algorand Foundation announces grant partnership with Flare Network to develop Bitcoin Bridge. Now you see how Bitcoin's gonna be tied to Flare? Now think about how big that's gonna be for Algorand and Flare also. Think about the liquidity that's going to come in. And that's going to be valued, that's going to add value to XRP. Then we see this. Everyone has to remember there are 3 things that are going to make XRP. It hasn't even made a run in this bull cycle yet. SEC joke of a lawsuit. Flare Network, utility, and liquidity. Don't get shaken out. Be patient and hodl. XRP $20 and above. And that's what I'm telling you. Liquidity, when that comes in through the Flare Network, I could see XRP hitting $100. I don't think people realize the potential of Flare and what it's going to do. But you can't even fathom the amount of liquidity. It's going to be huge. XRP's strongest attribute is RippleNet, no question. Number 2 is Flare Network's ability to create liquidity for XRP. I did a video a couple days ago where I talked about how XRP gets to 1,000 and then beyond, and how it got to like 400 and some dollars was through Flare Network, the liquidity coming from Flare. And even if the SEC lawsuit isn't over and it isn't relisted on every single exchange, Flare is going to add value to XRP without nothing else. And that's when you're going to see true utility starting to move cryptocurrencies. Then we see this. Looks like the XRP ledger has multiple smart contract options, probably to go after multiple use cases. I guess NFTs, derivatives, payments, DeFi, liquidity hub, DAOs, etc. Think about that. Think about XRP also being tied to NFTs and DeFi. I mean, I'm telling you right now, XRP ledger is, as soon as Flare fires up in full, in its full glory, let's put it that way, XRP's price has to move up. because of everything that's going to be connected to the Flare network. Is it just me, or is Flare network even more huge than we can comprehend? Like colossal huge. That's the way to describe it best, because it's going to be that big. FlareX, FlareWrap, Flare Farm, Flare Mine, Flare Loans, and Flare Mutual starting in July on the Flare network. Oh my god, now I have to go back and relearn what I forgot before July. But gaining Fassets is going to be exciting. I have a feeling that it's going to be huge. I'm not even going to use the word huge for Flare. Colossal, massive. And think about the value of XRP also. With that said, I'm going to wrap up today's video. I want to thank you all for watching. We'll see you in the next one. Have a great night.